To inhabit your mind is to exist within a library of infinite depth. To others, silence is a sign of peace. But for you, silence is suspended animation. It is a breath held in anticipation of a falling pin. You don't just walk into a room, you assess it. You don't just meet a new person, you scan them. They call it trust issues. They tell you to just relax, to stop overthinking. But you can't. Because for you, a neutral facial expression is not an absence of emotion, it is a mask concealing hostility. A delayed text message is not a memory lapse, it is a signal of shifting allegiance. You are living in a state of restless intelligence. You are operating a biological surveillance system that is both a prison and a fortress. You are living inside a panopticon where you are both the prisoner and the watchman, constantly checking for signs of deviation from the safety protocol. But what if I told you that this burden is actually a misidentified power? You are not broken. You are a high-speed recorder in a low-resolution world. Let's dissect the 5 marks of the hyper-vigilant mind. We will turn the affliction into a feature. First, there is the exhaustion. You leave a social gathering feeling physically drained, as if you've just taken an exam. That's because you have. The average person filters out the little things. You do not. You capture the fleeting grimace, the sigh of impatience, the inconsistency in a story told twice. It is a massive computational burden. Why? In a neurotypical brain, the prefrontal cortex is the wise elder. It calms the amygdala down. It says, that loud noise was just a door slamming. But for you, perhaps due to past trauma, that hierarchy is inverted. Your amygdala, the threat center, screams, gunshot, and overpowers the logic center. You cannot talk yourself down because the part of your brain responsible for talking has been taken offline. But here is the pivot. Because you cannot filter the data, you keep all of it. You possess semantic inconsistency detection. Like Sherlock Holmes, you notice what others miss, the mud on a shoe, the hesitation in a voice. When a person's voice is happy but their eyes are sad, your internal alarm sounds. This isn't paranoia. This is data science. You are performing real-time object detection on human behavior. You are always the one who finds the loophole in the contract. You are the one who spots the lie. This leads to the second mark, the inability to accept safety. When things are calm, you don't feel peace. You feel a creeping dread. If someone tells you you're safe, you feel patronized. You are always waiting for the other shoe to drop. This is a math problem. Your brain is a prediction machine. Most people use a stable model. They assume tomorrow will be like today. You operate on a volatility model. Your brain assumes the rules of the environment can change catastrophically at any moment. Therefore, trust is a naive strategy. When someone says, "You're safe," your brain hears, "We are in the eye of the storm." But in a crisis, the person with the volatility model is king. You are a natural contingency planner. In business, this is called a pre-mortem. Imagining a project has failed to figure out why. You do this automatically. When the worst-case scenario actually happens, you are the only one not paralyzed by shock because you have already lived through the simulation. Mark 3 is the physical pain of sensitivity, the walking on eggshells sensation. A partner's sigh doesn't just register as noise. It registers as a stomach drop, a racing heart, or a wave of nausea. You are often told you are too sensitive. This is the work of the salience network. Its job is to tag things as important. In your brain, it has a low threshold. It tags a sigh as a high priority signal, equivalent to a scream. Your anterior insula is hyperactive, linking social cues directly to your internal organs. Your body mirrors the social danger. But turn that sensitivity outward, and you have empathic accuracy. Studies show that socially anxious individuals can be more accurate at identifying complex mental states just by looking at the eyes. You are a superfeeler. You have built a massive database of emotional cues. You are the canary in the coal mine, detecting rising tension in a room before anyone else. This leads to the fourth mark, the glitch. Do you ever get mad at someone for something they did in your imagination? You run disaster scenarios so vividly that you wake up with your heart pounding. You feel crazy because your emotional reality doesn't match the external reality. This is a source monitoring error. Because of hyperneuroplasticity, your ability to learn fear rapidly, your simulations are too good. Your brain confuses the memory of a fear with the reality of an event. However, this same mechanism builds the archive. You treat your mind as a library. You do not forget. You can recall the specific phrasing of an insult from 3 years ago. This is crystallized intelligence. You drive yourself to do deep research to cope. You study the world to predict it, giving you a depth of knowledge that others lack. Finally, the paralysis, the overthinking. You feel stuck holding conflicting possibilities. He loves me versus he is betraying me. It feels like mental gridlock. This is strategic tension. You are calculating the probability of multiple timelines at once. But consider this. Artificial intelligence analysis shows that grandmaster chess players sustain high levels of strategic tension longer than anyone else. You are engaging in algorithmic thinking. You refuse to simplify a complex reality just to feel comfortable. You value the truth too highly to accept a counterfeit. So, if you identify with these marks, your goal is not to dismantle the system. You cannot simply decide to trust. The goal is to calibrate the sensor. Understand that your exhaustion is just a check engine light. You are not broken. You are a keeper of the watch. You are the one who sees the storm before it breaks. The storm may still rage outside, but you are no longer the prisoner of the panopticon. You are the architect of the archive. Your vigilance is a tool. Pick it up, put it down. In a world full of noise, your high-fidelity pattern recognition is not a defect. It's a gift.